Let's talk about Eurovision now. Did you watch it? The final of the singing contest took place in the city of Liverpool.
Well, one of those who was involved in the run-up to this big event is 19-year-old dancer Raga Deva Baktuni. Now, she's part of Movema, a Liverpool dance company which uses dance to strengthen communities. Now, she's been performing a style of dance from Andhra Pradesh in southern India from a very young age and was there in Liverpool through the week. Raga joins me right now.
Good evening, Raga.
Hello.
How
Hello
are
to
you?
all the BBC listeners. I'm great. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm quite excited that you took part in the Global Folk Project, which included Indian folk dancing, and it was part of the Eurovision parade. That must have been quite exciting for you.
It was super, super great. It was like the Global Folk Project was a compilation of different folk dances around the world. So we wanted to make it as inclusive as possible of different cultures. And so we had three kinds of folk dances that we performed for. So we did the English Boss Morris, which is an English folk dance. And then we did Dandiya Ras, which is an Indian folk dance from the state Gujarat. And then we had Ukrainian folk from Ukraine woven together into a piece. And we performed that in the city centre for the Blue and Yellow Submarine Parade. That's what we called it. So it was like an opening parade for Eurovision. And it was so fantastic, especially like the performance was great. But also along with that, we had a lot of dance like DJ, and we had the DJ on top of the submarine because it was Aquatopia. So the theme was the sea theme. And we were all dressed like fishes and water and weeds. So it was quite amazing and very exciting as well.
And it must have been quite exciting for the audience as well to experience something completely different.
The kids loved it.
Yeah.
There were so many kids and they absolutely loved it.
And what's it been like in Liverpool for yourselves with the Eurovision Song Contest? I know lots of people have been celebrating in different ways, but it's had a real impact, hasn't it? And a real opportunity for young creatives like yourself to show off your talent.
So Liverpool itself is a very joyous city. But especially these days, it's been a lot more wonderful because when you're going to work in the morning, you're always in a hurry and the city centre is like busy and things like that, and you're just running to work. However, these days, it's just been so amazing with all these tourists, all these new things that are coming up with these shootings. I was walking on these streets the other day, and there was like randomly people singing on the road, and someone was shooting them. So it's always amusing seeing such kinds of things in Liverpool. Makes it feel so much alive. But just a bit more traffic, which I'm not going to complain about because there are so many other pros for it. But yeah, apart from that, it's been very colourful, very touristy, and very beautiful.
Much going on by the sounds of it. How long were you practicing for? And I mean, another question that really comes into my mind is what kind of fish were you dressed as? And, you know, how long did it take you to get dressed?
So sadly, we were actually water. We were the people of the water. But we had like different kinds of fishes. I don't know the names of those fishes, but they were also Disney fishes as well. From like the movie Ariel. So I did notice one of those fishes was Ariel, but we had jellyfishes, octopuses. We had a really giant octopus. So it was quite quirky and amazing.
I mean, you wouldn't really put folk dancing and the underwater creatures together, would you? So how did that come together in the end? I bet that was so surreal.
Yeah, it is, because we were doing like Indian Dandiya Ras dressed as water. But the thing was, we had amazing costumes and they were all like very much suited. So we were water, but at the same time, we were wearing a Dandiya costume, but at the same time, we were wearing an English Boss Morris costume. So it had three pieces, each indicating to each part of the culture, like each part of the world. Indian part, like the coat was an Indian part, and then we had like pants that were kind of like the English Boss Morris style, and then tops the Ukrainian style. So we tried to incorporate it that way.
I mean, you definitely need to send me a photograph of this and even a video because I'm so intrigued.